Our first week was devoted to understanding the complexity of the concept of diversity. Our second week addressed some of the history of diversity issues in the United States. Then we looked at culture, at stereotypes, and at social construction. And last week we looked at the law. This week we want to look at the demographic reality of diversity in the United States today, along with an idea of the numbers of grievances or complaints about diversity issues. In other words, we hear a lot of stuff, but what are the facts? And how bad is the problem? Many of this week's readings are actual data about US demographics, and they require you to poke around in it and look at it. We hear too many people saying this or that without supporting data. One of the things I encourage you to cultivate in yourself is a reluctance to draw conclusions about what people claim if they don't present any data to support it. It's so easy to say things, to believe things that are just not true because they sound good. Claims are made constantly without any evidence. Don't accept unsubstantiated claims, even or maybe especially if you tend to agree with them. Demand of yourself that you have clear data reasons to support your opinions and ideas, and that data is legitimate. There's a lot of website readings this week. Some of them are data sites that you have to explore a bit. Make sure you allocate 6 to 7 hours to those readings, and then think about the data. Look at it from different perspectives. That's the first part of your assignment for this week. First, we're going to look at the general structure of U.S. society through the U.S. Census records. What are the actual ethnic proportions in the United States as a whole? Well, if you look at the census, it says that whites not Hispanic comprise around 61%, Hispanics around 18%, blacks 13%, Asians 6%, Native American 1%. That's in the whole United States. Keep in mind what we said about lumping lots of races into that Hispanic category. In California, now remember what the U.S. is, 39% are Hispanic, only 37% are white alone, 15% Asian, 6.5% black, and 2% Native. And then looking at CSUSB, Hispanics are around 60% of the student body, whites are around 14%, black 6%, Asians 5%, and 15% unknown or other. When we look at the MPA program, we find that Hispanics are about 40%. Whites are 17%, blacks are 12%, Asians 6%, international 11%. So there's a large difference in the diversity of California compared with the rest of the United States, and even bigger difference compared to Cal State, San Bernardino, or the MPA program. In the United States as a whole, whites still make up about twice as many people as everybody else combined, but regional differences are huge. Check out the breakdown in different states. There's regional differences between urban and suburban and rural. Where do different groups tend to live? Why? And what difference, I want you to think, what difference does this uneven distribution make in our society? One thing we do know is that the gender distribution is just about equal everywhere because that's the way humanity tends to work. Except at colleges and universities, where females, interestingly, are across the United States, 60 to 70% of the student population. CSUSB follows that. They're about 61%. The MPA program is similar. The females are about 56%. More and more women make up the majority of those going to college. How much impact has that made? You've probably heard the concept of a glass ceiling. And that concept means that despite high numbers of educated people, the highest reaches of power tend to be still dominated by white men. That's the claim. What's the reality? Check out the articles that are providing data. Finally, I have sources listed on the number of grievances and formal complaints. Is discrimination going away? Is it increasing? Is sexual harassment increasing or decreasing? Is racism in general increasing or decreasing? Look at the statistics and then think about it a little bit. You might think about simply, do the registration of complaints mean that discrimination is increasing or decreasing? Maybe it just means there's more awareness. This week's assignments are regular discussion and your reflective journal entry. During the week, I want you to comment in the discussion board postings on the data, and I've given you a lot of different sources. I want you to go into it and tell all of us, what do you see? What do you conclude from that data about diversity? What do you find interesting? You'll often have to drill down a bit and play with those tables. The data don't provide their own conclusions about what is happening. Note what you found and where you found it and why in your discussions. Cite your data and start the discussions early, please. Don't wait until the weekend. We need to have our discussions ongoing during the week. I look forward to reading your postings.